Thank you, everybody, for joining us. My name is Justin Thomas, aka the Job Father. I've been away for a while, had a new baby, so took a month
Congratulations.
off. Thank you. Took a month off just to kind of gather my bearings, get used to the new sleep schedule and everything. But I wanted to come back and provide some free information. I put out a post today about doing free live resume optimization, and Miss Monique Jenkins was the first person to reach out to strike while the iron is hot. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am the Job Father. I'm a global talent acquisition leader with over 15 years of experience with internal companies focusing on software as a service, technology, legal, and healthcare, from the corporate function from C suite all the way down to entry level. 2 years ago, I stepped away and started my own recruiting firm named Executive Inquest. And a year and a half ago, I started to do executive career coaching. So, this is what the Job Father focuses on, and that's who I am. Monique, do you mind sharing with us who you are?
Sure. My name is Monique Jenkins. I'm a learning and development professional with over 15 years of experience. I primarily focus on facilitation and program leadership and some instructional design.
Okay. Now, well, I'm going to start sharing the screen. What we're going to do today is start by going through your resume bullet point by bullet point, and I'm going to pull out some information. Okay. While I'm doing that, why don't you share with me where you are in your job search?
Okay. So in April of 2024, my company did a restructure, and unfortunately, I was affected and laid off from my position. I immediately landed into a contract role, and my contract ended in October. And so from that point, it seemed like everything just dried up. I get interviews, I get outreach for contract positions, but for the positions that I'm really like, okay, this is a great next step, or this is what I want, it's just not solidifying. I will get the feedback that says, oh my gosh, you have so much great experience. Oh, this looks great. No, you were one of my best interviews. I really enjoyed it, but then I don't get the job. So it's frustration is where we are at this point.
Okay. And are you currently, so you are getting interviews, is that correct?
Yes,
All right.
I'm
On
getting
the,
some, but I'm also getting tons of rejections.
okay. How many interviews would you say you're getting per month?
I will go through a period of time where I will have 2 to 4 interviews going at any one time, and then I will have nothing for a month or 2 months.
Okay. So the good news is that your resume is attracting responses, right? You're getting interviews. We always want more irons in the fire, right? So that's going to be the goal of today with optimizing your resume. With that being said, everybody, listen. Anybody who looks at your resume is always going to have something that can they feel as though they can update it and make it better. All right. There's more ways to the goal than just going point A to point B. So, with that being said, what I'm showcasing today is the job father format and how I found and help clients, increase their interview response rate from applications or recruiters reaching out from seeing and sourcing their resumes on different job boards. Okay. We can definitely meet later, Monique, to talk about interview prep. And I can also introduce you to the Job Father AI agent, which we'll be using here, which can help yourself with interview prep to help you kind of figure out those gaps and put your best foot forward. Okay.
Awesome.
So first, what I like to do, the first thing you have to do is zero in on the perfect role, right? So what type of role are you going after?
Really, I would love to do something that leads me into training management, either training manager, senior manager, director. Um, I've done facilitation for lots of years. I feel like I have a lot to add. I have a varied background with the companies that I've worked for. If I put everything on my resume, it would probably be about 4 pages long. So, still staying in training program management, training leadership. Um, yeah.
Okay. So perfect. So the good news is that you already have a focused search. I don't believe in spraying and praying. As the job father, you have to have a tailored, focused search and focus on those specific roles. Yes, it lessens the amount of opportunities that may be available to you, but it effectively and strategically places you as top candidates for the few roles that you are applying to, and it kind of helps with your mental health. Instead of spraying and praying, applying to all these jobs and getting all these rejections, you're getting rejected because you're not the best fit. So with a targeted focus and a targeted search, we kind of put you in the best place to win. Even though you may go from applying to 30 jobs to 5 jobs, out of those fives, hopefully you'll get 3 interviews and land one of those jobs. Okay. So what I want to do is go through your bullet points. This is your resume that you give to me as is, right? I've redacted some of the personal information. I want to go through each bullet point and see if there's any quantifiable data that we can pull out, or anywhere where you have your skills down here.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see, recruiters don't really care to just see, we don't look at your skills section because people just put things there to make it past the ATS, AI, and job spiders and things like that. And we don't believe that you've actually done it. So anywhere as we go through these bullet points where you've actually used these skills, we want to list it where you have the
Okay.
experience, so that we know that you've done it in practice and not just in theory.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to move a little bit quicker for time here, but you'll get the gist. So the first
Okay.
one, developed e-learning courses resulting in a savings of over 5,000 in contracting cost. That is great. You have the metrics there. What did you use to develop the e-learning course?
Articulate 360.
One word or two?
One word, articulate 360, 360. Yeah.
All right. So you see what we're doing here is going and just all those things and skills we want to put and call it out. Recruiters don't know you. We don't guess. So the more information you have, the better, because you never know, some things they don't put in the job description. So if they're looking for somebody with that specific, experience, that just puts you at the top of the list.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. Collaborated with subject matter experts to design training programs aligned with current learning trends. Did that result in anything?
Um, it would have. It did after I left.
Okay, so what was the result? Like, what was the
The
outcome? What was
result
the
was launching, uh, re- redesigning our inclusive leadership program.
redesign the inclusive leadership program
Yes.
by collaborating with subject matter experts to design by leading the collaboration
Hmm.
efforts efforts with subject matter experts to design training programs aligned with current learning trends. That sound about right?
Yeah. Take the S out of programs.
Uh, thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Listen, I'm typing fast. That's what this is for. I have thick skin. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. I promise. This
Okay.
represents you. So anything I miss, call it out.
Okay.
That's what we're doing this for. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Manage a team of 2 specialists and a coordinator while leading the inclusive leadership or leader program.
Leader.
Okay. All right. To the next row. Develop e-learning courses using what?
Articulate.
Okay. Onboarded over 200 employees through coaching skills, training, and workshops, reducing
Mhm.
staff turnover by 5%. What did you guys use to onboard employees?
Um, well, we did our regular new hire onboarding, but we also had uh, another program. Jesus, the name of it popped out of my head. But we did grow coaching, so inside out coaching. And give me 1 second, and I will pull that up because it totally popped out of my head.
Like, were you guys using Workday, ServiceNow? Like, what is your
We use Workday, but that wasn't necessarily part of what I used.
okay, perfect.
So that's why I didn't specifically call out Workday.
Sure.
Um, but we did it through specialized training programs. And Oh, our way. We basically called it our way of empowering performance.
Okay, so that's not something we don't need to put that there.
Yeah, no, it's internal.
All right, perfect. Created blended roles, contributing to over 300 billable client hours in 2020 and generating approximately 200K in revenue.
Hmm.
All right. Uh, what kind of blended roles did you create?
So the blended roles were basically using internal FTEs as consultants um, for existing accounts. So basically, we were not billable consultants. We were FTEs, but working as consultants. So based on the number of hours we worked and the rate at which our consultants were costing. That
Perfect.
is, yep.
That is perfect. Got it. All right. Manage the team of specialists and how many specialists?
I had two specialists and two coordinators.
Okay. Oh, nope. Okay. All right. Now it's a safeguard. Trained U.S. and Canadian call centers managing over 110,000 monthly calls to ensure timely resolution of client issues,
Hmm.
and oops, developed a training curriculum that reduced average call handle by time by 1 minute, enhancing client satisfaction. Sorry.
Yes.
Train U.S. and what did you use to train them? What the LMS did you use?
The CD2 was the LMS that we used to manage our training.
You said
Um,
CD2.
CD2,
Okay.
learning management system. And at North Island, I utilized Cornerstone.
Using what?
We used Cornerstone and LinkedIn Learning.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Led a team of training specialists and instructional designers to create and deliver training. How many training specialists at Safeguard?
Two training specialists, one instructional designer.
To create and deliver training programs for internal and external. What I'm guessing this is in CD2.
In CD2, but we used Articulate, Camtasia, and PowerPoint.
You said Camtasia.
Yes.
Where was I just at?
Safeguard. Led a team of. Mhm.
Give me a second. I'm trying to think. It's Camp. It's T. No, it's just Camtasia.
Yes.
What's the
Camtasia, Articulate, 360,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, PowerPoint.
Okay. Collaborated with client relations and training teams to develop an online product knowledge base and improved call centers agency. Which LMS was
That
new?
would be CD2.
We want to be specific and call it out as many times. You want them, just in case that is the kicker, where it's
Okay.
something that they need that specific. You want them to know that you got it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Tech systems collaborated with executives and stakeholders to review and resolve system performance issues, resulting in an 8%.
And then it's on the next line.
Design and implemented a business continuity plan that improved communication of temporary processing methods for critical business processes.
Yes.
What did you use to design and implement it?
We literally used Word and PowerPoint.
Okay. Onboard and train employees across multiple state government agencies on client technology platforms, ensuring seamless. That one is client platform, so you can't really call that one out because it's government,
Right.
and government is weird. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, not weird. The government, you guys are not weird. I forgot what it
It's
uh,
special. They have special.
special.
We have
There we go. Uh,
regulations.
you know what? I'm the job father. I cut the crap. The government's just slow and antiquated. That's what y'all are. Okay. Uh, Learning coordinator team lead. Reduce service delivery costs by 15% by enhancing technology adoption capacity while overseeing learning activities of Cox Media Group's search shared services. Which technology did you adopt?
It's an internal platform.
Okay, perfect. Manage the team. Manage the team of trainers and a technical writer. Serving how many trainers?
2 trainers, 1 technical writer.
Serving as the primary contact for both internal and external leading learning requests, and led the development of training materials and content design. What
Mhm.
did you develop the training materials and content design in?
At that time, we primarily used PowerPoint.
Okay. Developed and managed the trainer program facilitating training. Oh, this is 2015. Okay. All right. In your most recent roles, did you utilize AI at all?
Not a lot, but I have gotten more involved in utilizing AI. I used it, to write surveys. I used it to help fine tune or polish some of the text, but
Okay.
probably not to its fullest extent.
Okay. Perfect. So that was the hard part. So anybody looking, and for you specifically, Monique, before you do anything to your resume, you want to go bullet point by bullet point, and you want to do exactly what we did. Extract any quantifiable measures. Monique already did a great job of having those measures there. But you also want to go to your skills and section on your resume and make sure you put anywhere you used any of those softwares and tools and data sets and things like that. You want
Mhm.
to integrate that into the bullet points of your experience so that we see that you actually did it in practice and not just in theory. Okay. So now what I want to do is I've built something called the Job Father AI, which is where I took over 500 hours of transcripts from meetings with my clients over the last year, put it into an agent. I've trained it and programmed it to speak like me, to teach like me, and and integrated all of my templates of how I like resumes to come out, how you update your LinkedIn, how to do interview prep, how to do interview follow-ups, how to do outreach networking, all those things that I do provide as a job coach, just in AI, and you have to do it yourself. All right.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do now is I've saved this resume for you. Now,
Okay.
earlier you did send over 3 job descriptions.
Hmm.
Okay, you sent over 3 job descriptions that we're going to utilize with the Job Father AI. So on my screen, you guys still should see the Job Father AI. What I'm going to do is say, hey, can you help me update my resume? All right. The Job Father AI is always going to ask you for 2 to 3 job descriptions of the
Okay.
roles that of your targeted search that you've already determined. Okay. The 2 to 3 job descriptions, they don't have to be same by name, but they need to have the same skills and qualifications to make you the best fit to land the role.
Okay.
Now, once you give your 2 to 3 job descriptions, it will make sure and analyze to make sure that these roles are closely aligned. If not, it'll tell you to try again.
Okay.
Okay. But it takes these 3 jobs and it collates a list of summarized skills, qualifications, and duties and integrates that into your resume. So as you see here, be intentional with your job search. Target in on a perfect role. That's what we discussed, right? This is how you know it's me and my voice. It's not like you can go to any other chat GPT and just type this in and it'll give you this information. Okay, so step one, upload the 2 to 3 job descriptions. I'm going to go find them now. Now you can either paste the link or you can copy and paste the job description as a whole. If it's a LinkedIn link, you probably just want to copy and paste because sometimes the AI doesn't have it won't it'll tell you it can't log in and see the full description.
Okay.
So here's the first description that you gave me as a senior learning and development leader with Georgia Pacific.
Okay.
And as you see, I uploaded it and it's telling you, you can read the screen and tell you and see what it's saying.
Okay.
Here's job number 2. All right. See 2 distinct but aligned targets. That's how you know you're on the right track.
Okay.
And that was the learning and development program manager
Okay.
with Russell Tobin.
Okay.
And then the last role is going to be the EY role, Ernst & Young with the Executive Learning and Development Consulting Associate Director role.
Okay.
All right, so now it's going to say we got 3 jobs. It's giving you the common titles to target. It tells you what roles you should go after, right?
Okay.
Based upon your what you're looking for. Keywords you must have on your resume and LinkedIn to appear in LinkedIn recruiter searches. And required qualifications across the board. You always need to, anybody watching, and especially you, Monique, make sure that you align with what's required so that you're not wasting your time.
Right.
Okay. Now, what we need is it needs our current resume as is. You can just go ahead and upload. This is the resume we just worked on.
Okay.
Now, the job father format is simple. Recruiters take 2 to 5 seconds to scan each portion of the resume, not the entire resume, but each portion. It's kind of like meat on the hook. When we used to go to the mall when we were younger, before people stopped going, you had the person handing out the samples. The person's job handing out the samples was to get you to come try a sample. The purpose of you trying to sample was for the sample to be good enough for you to go to the counter. When you go to the counter, the presentation and the prices had to be right for you to ultimately purchase. It's the same thing, meat on the hook, going down your resume. So every 2 to 5 seconds, you want that recruiter to see something that reminds them of the role they're trying to fill. A
Okay.
key thing to understand, recruiters are jacks of many trades, but masters of only ours. So when we're searching and sourcing for people to hire for our jobs, we are looking for things specifically in the job description and other information that the hiring manager told us during the kickoff call. Okay.
Okay.
So with that being said, once you put your resume in there, you will see it reformatted the resume. It spits out the resume in the job father format. Okay.
Okay.
We always have a summary, core competencies and skills, and then it goes through your professional experience. Now,
Okay.
here's what I do. What I do is I take the format. What it does is it takes the bullet points for each position and places it into 2 to 3 categories that align with the type of role you're looking for. Remember, every 2 to 5 seconds, you want to stop the eyes. So when you get to the experience, you see it broke those bullet points into 3 categories: learning program design and delivery, stakeholder collaboration and team management, and instructional technology and modern learning. Okay. All of these things are part of that summarized list of the things that will be common across the type of role you're looking to land. So, and it stops the recruiter's eye. Oh, great, learning program design. Let me see what she did there. Boom, it counts, it hits on everything, and it keeps me engaged every 2 to 5 seconds because I'm saying things that are engaging me,
Okay.
right? Again, to your comment earlier about the 4 pages, it doesn't really matter how long your resume is. It matters how much meat on the hook do you have. Is the information you have relevant to the role you're seeking to land? People submit 2 page resumes with 15 years of experience. They miss out on a lot because recruiters don't know you. We only can go off of what we see.
Right.
And yes, hiring managers will tell you different. Executives will tell you, oh, I only want a 1 or 2 page resume. But guess what? They're not the ones giving you the interview. You have to get past the recruiter first. So you have to speak the recruiter's language at this stage in the job seeking process.
Okay.
All right. So I won't do this live. Basically, what I do is I take this, I copy and paste it over to the format of the resume you saw,
Mm-hmm.
and then your resume is updated and optimized.
Awesome.
Okay. So the hard part is just making sure that you go in there, copy and paste these things, make sure the categories are correct, and make sure the bullet points make sense. Okay. Now, what I did not do, and I'm going to go back, is I'm going to ask it, hey, before you upload that resume, you want to say, do not, and I'm going to spell it wrong. Don't laugh at me.
It's
Hallucinate. Do not hallucinate. You don't want it to make up information. Okay.
okay.
I have it already embedded into the code, but it's AI. Sometimes it does what it wants. So to be sure, you always want to put do not hallucinate. All right. And then, okay, crystal clear, no hallucinations, no fluff, no filler. And what it's going to do now is spit back out your resume without anything made up.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Oh,
No, it says everything was grounded in what came from my resume.
that just means my coding worked on the back end this time. But sometimes, sometimes it doesn't. All right.
Awesome.
So if you forget to put do not hallucinate viewers and you see a lot of made up stuff, just before you do anything else, just say, please do not hallucinate, and it'll spit it back out. Okay.
Awesome.
Now, going through some of these things, what you have to do is still AI. AI is only a tool. It's not a secret cheat code. It doesn't know better than you as the professional. So you want to go through this, okay, and make sure that each bullet point makes sense and add any information where needed or take away information where needed. And remember, this will be in the resume format, which I'll send to you about when we get offline here. I won't waste people's time or yours copy and pasting over, right?
Okay.
Um, but do these you want to also make sure the categories given make sense to your profession.
Right.
All right. And make sure the bullet points given within that category make sense. Feel free to change the category word, one word or two. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, this looks amazing. Um, well, I guess a bigger question, and we kind of started to touch on this a little bit, is how do you kind of get past that fatigue of applying? You know, you're going out there, you are applying for jobs, you're creating the cover letters for each one, you're trying where it's appropriate to go in and uh, you know tweak your resume so that it more clearly points out the things that you've done. But then you get to a point where you're like, you're putting in a resume at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and then you look back at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, and it's like, oh, thank you so much, but we decided to go into another direction. Like, how do you what do you what's your advice?
My advice is just I'm a man of God, a man of faith. Just stay prayed up, stay hopeful, right? Uh the job market sucks. You have to remember it's not you. It's not that you suck at your job, right? There's a difference between being great at your job and being great at job seeking. I'm great at job seeking. You're great at your job, right? So to
Yeah.
help with that fatigue, get a coach. Find somebody. You don't have to pay for it, but get a circle, get a community of people. Accountability Fridays is a great group. A great community. I just posted about it earlier today. You yourself should check it out. It's a free community to join. They do sessions every Friday where they have different professionals like myself and other different industry leaders to come talk about the job search.
Mhm.
But to get back on track, you really just have to believe in yourself and understand that hiring managers are not taking risk. This is not a time for transferable skills unless you have a very good inside person. You can know the hiring manager and still not and get referred by the hiring manager and still not get the role, right? So
Mhm.
you have to have a real end for that transferable skill set to work. A lot of times, even when you're getting those interviews, they may really like you. What happens when you don't get the job after you're already interviewing is that they spoke to that one person who just so happened to one thing that you were missing, right? And they're going to go with the best risk because the cost of a bad hire cost the company thousands. It cost the company 40% of the salary that they hired that person at. Okay. On top of it costs the hiring manager their job sometimes because a bad hire means projects are stalling because you have to rehire again. And after one or two bad hires, the hiring manager is on the chopping block.
Yeah.
So it's a domino effect. So remember that it's not just you, right? Uh, and number two, stop applying, stop spraying and praying. Don't apply to 100 jobs. There's not 100 jobs that you're the perfect fit for out there. And not just you, Monique. I'm talking just in general, right? There's not 100 jobs that you are the perfect fit for. Focus on a targeted search. Apply to 5 to 10 jobs a week. That if you can even find 5 to 10 jobs a week that are new, right? That
Mhm.
speaks to you where you hit 98% of those bullet points. The jobs are out there. It may only be two, but they're out there. But I guarantee if you spend your time and focus on those 2 to 10 jobs every 2 weeks versus 100 jobs, guess what? You'll start to get, if you apply to 10 jobs, you may get 5 interview requests, then only 5 rejections. That lessens the loads than getting 50 rejections after spending 3 hours applying throughout a week.
Right.
So I guess that's the best actionable item is to stop spraying and praying. Stop wasting people's time. Stop flooding the recruiter's inbox. They can't see it. It's not personal. We can't take a chance on you because if we submit you, then if we submit too many bad hires or too many bad apples, so to say, people that's not the perfect fit for what the hiring manager is looking for, we get the chopping block. So just putting it in perspective, taking the personal side out of it, and remember, it's business. These are businesses we're trying to go after. They don't have to be nice. We want them to, but they don't have to.
Yeah.
Does that answer that question for
It
you?
does. It does.
Okay. Now for you, I'm gonna take about 5 or 10 more minutes of your time here. You did
Okay.
specifically ask about interview prep, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting in these interviews, right?
Okay.
Here's another great thing about the Job Father AI. Yes, you can ask it to do your LinkedIn. What you would do is say, "Hey, after it gives you a resume, it's going to ask you, do you want me to update your LinkedIn?" Just say,
Oh,
"Yes, please optimize my LinkedIn."
okay.
And see what it'll do is start with your about section. Now, here's the thing. On LinkedIn, your profile is your resume. Recruiters use
Mm.
LinkedIn Recruiter to source profiles and reach out to applicants to schedule interviews. That's how you skip the line. You want to skip the line and have recruiters reaching out to you. It's called the passive portion of the job search phase. Okay, meaning you're passively search seeking roles because recruiters are reaching out to you. All right,
Okay.
so it's going to give you an about me section. I'm not a big fan of emojis, so you can just skip the emojis, but you copy and paste everything else. The only thing is when you're copying and pasting it to LinkedIn, the formatting is awful. So you have to really go out, make sure the white space looks like this. Okay.
Okay.
Instead of I do like to use the light bulb. Instead of bullet points, sometimes I use a copy and paste the arrow from words and properly space it out, or you can just put a dash. It looks cleaner. Okay.
Okay.
All the check marks, it just gives away that it's chat GPT. So you want to get rid of the check marks and just use a dash, right? Or something that makes it not stand out so much.
Okay.
All right. Now, it gave you the about me section. Now say, do you want to build out your experience section? Yes. Please build out entire experience section. And again, this is not, yes, you can go to regular chat GPT, but it's not going to give you the job father format. The format it's giving you is my format that I pre-programmed that specifically inserts and integrates the keywords that we asked for earlier from the 3 jobs, the summarized list we created,
Uh-huh.
and it places it into your profile so that when recruiters are searching for the roles you're seeking, your profile will come up in that search. You can be great, but if you're invisible to recruiters, you're not going to get reached out to.
Okay.
Okay. So then it just gives you what to copy and paste for each of the positions listed in your experience section, basically each of the roles on your resume. Okay.
Awesome.
Last but not least, you're going to say, hey, please give me a list of skills to add to my LinkedIn. And it's going to give you all the skills utilized that recruiters use when searching for the roles you're seeking to land. And what you want to do is take that list of skills and make sure you add them to each role on your LinkedIn profile. There is a process to do it that's a lot easier than meets the eye. If you want to, go check out my post and look for updating your skills in your LinkedIn profile. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Now, last but not least, for these last 5 minutes, interview prep. After you've done all of that, now, folks, what I just gave you right now, and if you use the Job Father AI, that's optimizing your LinkedIn and your resume. A lot of people are out here charging you $300 just for that, right? This is how you can do it yourself. On top of that, say you are applying to a role and you see the perfect role that speaks exactly to you, you can come back to this same window and say, please update the resume you provided specifically for the job I provide. And then just copy and paste the job description and it'll update your resume specifically for that role if you wanted to do that. Okay.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't suggest you update your resume for every role you apply to. The whole purpose of this is that you shouldn't have to update your resume for the roles you apply to. But sometimes you see that perfect role and you want to speak specifically to that. Okay. So you do that. Say, what's the one of the roles you just sent me? Give me a second to find it.
The Georgia Pacific role.
All right, just let me scroll back up here. I could just copy it. So we're gonna do the Ernst and Young role since this the
The first one you found.
yep. All right. So I'm gonna say, please give me an interview prep guide with possible questions and answers that align my skills and experience as the perfect candidate for the role. All right. Um, Also, you want to say, also give me the answer to tell me about yourself and walk me through my resume. Give me a analysis. I know I'm spelling it wrong. It'll pick it up. Analysis of my capabilities versus the role. What else do you want? Also, psychological give me a psychological profile of the interviewer. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what you want to do is at the beginning, when you say give me an interview prep guide, you want to say for which round? For the recruiter phone screen. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what you can do is if you don't know on LinkedIn, if you get who your interviewer is, say I'm the interviewer. You can go to their LinkedIn profile.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not gonna let me do it? This is my saved. You can go to more. If this is my own profile, so it says resources. On somebody else's, it'll say more,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to hit save PDF. Okay.
Okay.
You come back. We typed in everything. I'm going to paste in the job description, and I'm going to add the LinkedIn profile of your interviewer in this case, which would be me. All right. All right. Let's sit back and see it work.
This would have been so helpful.
All right, first one. Tell me about yourself. Okay, it gives you the job father has a tell. I have a tell me of self method. I've already integrated my format for it, so it gives you an answer and ties in your skills and qualifications from the resume created for you into the answer. All right. Now,
Okay.
as we go through these answers, remember nobody can predict what questions are going to be asked in the interview. It gives you its thoughts, right? What you want to focus on is not so much on the questions, but on the answers, because the answers does a great job of tying in your experience in a way that a lot of times you wouldn't have thought of. The
Okay.
goal is to always answer as the solution to what they're looking for and what the job description said, right? So even if you don't have the direct question, don't get caught up on the questions. Get caught up on the answers because I guarantee the information in these answers will become handy. And what I like to tell people is, say if it gave you a question, tell me about a time you implemented a global or cross-functional L&D initiative. All right, an
Mm-hmm.
example answer. At North Highland, I led onboarding and training across several departments using a hybrid model that served over 200 employees. We reduced attrition by 5% and created a coaching-based culture aligned to business needs, right? Sometimes on our own, we ramble. So these do a good job of teaching us how to be concise. Now, what it also does is it gives us bullet points of reference from our resume that we can go to. So when you're using your interview prep guide, as you're going through and you're seeing all these different examples, it's giving you from your resume. Go in your resume and earmark that bullet point so that when you're asked different questions and categorize that bullet point. So when you're asked different questions, you can do a quick scan of your resume and pull out that example to use. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go through it. Tell me about yourself. I'm a senior L&D leader with over a decade of experience designing and delivering leadership, development, compliance training, and scalable learning strategies across corporate, consulting, and global environments. I've led multi-million dollar L&D budgets, built blended and virtual learning programs, and partnered functionally with executive stakeholders and legal teams. Most recently, I led the redevelopment of a DEI based leadership program and scaled onboarding for over 200 team members. resulting in a measurable retention improvements. And what draws me to EY is your global impact and your commitment to building an inclusive leadership culture through talent development, right? So you
Mhm.
don't always have to use all of it, and don't memorize it word for word. Make it yours, make it sound genuine and unique. Use it as a basis and a format for you to frame your answers and to speak better to yourself.
Okay.
I'll stop there. Any questions before I move to the last part?
No, this is awesome.
All right. Now, part three, gap analysis. That this is what you always want to pay attention to, right?
Hmm.
Um, right. So it goes through the job, it pulls the job requirements from the job description and gives it and applies it to your experience based upon your resume.
Hmm.
All right. So it looks like you have no gaps here, like no gaps, no gaps. You get down to knowledge of EY talent model. This is just because it's not on your resume. So that's something you want to speak to during during the interview.
Okay.
All right. Partial gap, experience with succession planning, some exposure through leadership dev, but not formal succession planning program. So what
Okay.
you want to do is when you're giving answers, even if they don't ask it, a lot of times interviewers don't ask about the gap. They just assume you don't have it. So this is a good tool. So if they don't bring it up, you bring it up and say,
Okay.
hey, I noticed you're also looking for a succession planning experience. It's not clearly, you know, uh, announced on my resume, but here's the experience I have with that.
Okay.
Same thing with experience at global scale with super region stakeholders. You've worked nationally, but not globally, right? So you want to speak to that gap and fill it. And if that's not true, you can always just type back in, take this gap, copy, and say, hey, how can I bridge this gap in the interview? And it'll spit it
Yeah.
out and tell you.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, I was gonna say I was just like, and the one thing I guess I didn't list is, you know, at North Highland I did have international teams. Like I managed people in South Africa and the UK
Okay.
while I was there in Canada.
Okay.
So, but
Perfect. And you can
yeah,
always go back and add that into your resume, and
okay,
then you can also speak to it, right?
okay, perfect.
Now, psychological profile is a great thing that my co-founder of the Unfeathered community taught me. Her name is Netta. She's
Okay,
awesome, but she does this great thing where I just showed you. Pull a PDF profile of the LinkedIn. If you have their Instagram, if you Google them and you see anything else, add all of that in there to even be a better psychological profile. It can only go off with the information you give it. Okay,
okay,
so this is EY. So expect a recruiter who is structured but warm. They want clarity, alignment, and values fit. Screening for culture match. So make sure you understand the culture, right? Okay. Highly prepared. Make sure you're highly prepared. Now this one, I didn't like it. So I didn't like the psychological profile. Please give me a more detailed psych profile for the interviewer. And then it also has bonus questions to ask them. Okay.
okay,
And any part of this, you can always break it down if you wanted to go deeper and say, give me a deeper, blah, blah, blah.
okay.
I still didn't like that. Where are you at? Use the profile I attached. Okay, so now I had to speak to it a little bit better. But now it's picking up my profile of myself as your recruiter. The goal is to get the actual psych profile of the actual person interviewing you, right?
Okay.
So now that it's reading, I told it to use the profile I was attaching, right, which is mine, and it gives you a psychological profile of me, the job father, right?
Okay.
Strategic background shows an obsession with results, rather reducing time to fill, building talent pipelines, replacing C-suite. I'm a metrics guy who thinks in systems. I can tell you that is absolutely true. Performance driven. I don't do warm and fuzzies. He does conversion. I will evaluate your answers by how quickly you can connect what you do to the results. That is,
Okay.
you should be able to tell just from speaking to me that that's how I think, right?
Yes.
Um, cut the fluff communicator. That's how I talk. Brand sensitive. Okay. I will judge you on how well your personal brand aligns with the employer's values.
Okay.
That is also true. Talent matchmaker. Boom. So, what does all of that mean? Screening focus. All right. Global executive maturity. Do you sound like someone who can influence region global level stakeholders? Yes. Strategic thinking. Can you discuss L&D in terms of impact on succession planning? Cultural fluency. Do you understand what working at EY feels like? Can you drive behavior change, not just roll out training? And your brand alignment. Okay.
Okay.
Now, it also tells you red flags to watch for. That the interviewer will watch for. The interviewer will watch for if you're rambling or vague responses. I value tight storytelling. That's true. Lack of global exposure. I'll test to see if you can scale beyond North America. That's true. Buzzwords without data. So I'll press for metrics, scope, and outcomes, which I've been doing this entire call. Not understanding EY structure, right? And then low energy. I hate somebody who comes to an interview with low energy. So if somebody used this and did a psych profile who are interviewing with me for a job, this would actually very accurate. All right. And then
Okay.
it tells you how to sell me. Speak in problem, action, result format. Drop key metrics. Reference global impact. Mirror my pace and my tone. Position yourself as a partner to business leaders. Okay.
Okay.
And the most important thing, you should always mirror somebody's pace and tone when you're interviewing with them. Okay.
Hmm.
And then it gives you some final messaging tips and so forth and so forth. All right. So, and you can go deeper. You can say, give me some more questions and possible answers. And the gamut is there, but don't get too much information. Just focus on how you can position yourself and what metrics you can pull out to use for examples. Look up certain behavior questions and say, give me examples I can use. That way, you should always go to the interview with at least 3 to 4 stories prepared of how you did something that's listed on your resume. You
Hmm.
want the problem, the solution, and the result.
Absolutely.
All
I
right.
love it.
All right.
And I,
So, any questions and feedback? What do you think?
no, I think this is an amazing tool. I have a community of former colleagues who were affected by the restructuring and layoff, who we've kind of been gathering together as a support. And I can't wait to share this with them,
Mhm.
for them to take a look and see, exactly how helpful it will be. So I'm very excited.
Perfect. Well, please feel free to share with your community. They are lucky. As of today, anybody else that's watching, if you would like access to the JobFather AI, but don't want to pay for or just can't afford right now the full services of my coaching experience, this is just for the low price of $50, and you get unlimited optimization of your resume, LinkedIn, job coaching help. It can even help you curate different posts based upon your likes and needs and establishing you as a thought leader, which we will discuss in another session.
Awesome.
So, Monique, I just want to say thank you very much for your time. I will connect with you offline. If you want to, just schedule some time. You can get a free consult so you can learn how to move forward in your job search. Won't try to sell you anything. You got thanks for you helping me out today. That is just how I will repay you. Okay.
Thank you so much. This has been incredible, and I really appreciate you.
All right, Monique, stay with me 1 second, and
Okay.
then we'll be done here.
All right.
Everybody else, please feel free to visit my LinkedIn profile and use the booking link if you are interested in getting help like this or understanding more about the JobFather AI. Please reach out. The full scope of my services is also listed on my page. Prices for the full package do start at $2,000. Just to let you know, $1,000 deposit and only $1,000 remaining payment is due if you land a job within 90 days. Okay. All right.